Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! European Championship 2016. My name is Oliver German. I'm one of the hosts for this weekend and I'm joined here by Luke,
Hey Ollie,
our
we're
resident
back again.
expert who can tell you how all the decks are working.
Hopefully.
At least the decks that we expected to see, some of them like Monarch, of course.
Not this one.
Not this one, yeah. We have one player who came super dedicated, showed up early yesterday and basically printed out his deck list on a blue sheet of paper. And that's the least kept secret in the entire room. So I was talking to the head judge, hey, we want to have the feature match for round 9, want to have Moritz Wenninger, and our head judge's response, who's normally not aware of what everybody's playing, was like, the Blackwing guy? So yes, we do have a Blackwing player, who is of course one of the representatives of the other category, which is now referring to our metagame breakdown. Let's bring that up for you guys, because that is of course one of the big stories of the weekend. Going into the weekend, we did expect Phantom Knights Burning Abyss to be at the top spot because they did so well at the North American Continental Championship. And then in hot pursuit, we see different builds of the Monarch deck. This time, we really split them, so you can tell in day 2 what the exact differences are between those decks. So let's take a look at round 9 now. Just try to keep this in mind. Suddenly, all the bars are... Well, okay, the bars are still as long as they were before, but all the numbers are like a lot lower compared to before.
Yeah, so we've been cut down to anybody with, we said it wrong yesterday, it wasn't 19 points.
19 points or more, yeah.
It's 15 points.
15 even.
So that's 5 victories.
Okay, so you had to have a 5-3 record in day 1 to advance to day 2. If there was a draw in there, that also works,
Yeah,
if you only had 2 losses.
It.
All right, so Luke, is that what we expected to see? Suddenly have Domain Monarchs in the 2nd place. That's something that Rob predicted correctly. It was originally in the 3rd place. Now it's in 2nd.
In all honesty, I didn't expect to see as many Phantom Knights Burning Abyss. I thought because they didn't win the North American World Championship qualifier.
Yeah. So you thought players would come prepared and have something that can really, combat this deck and make sure it's not going to do so well.
However, just like we saw last year, we ended up with the top cut not being of the deck that we expected to be most represented, even right up until the top cut.
Right.
Necros was absolutely everywhere. They were by miles the biggest representation. We're seeing this here. Burning Abyss might suddenly drop off.
Yeah. Although Burning Abyss, actually, speaking of it, in percentages, it's moving up. It used to be the 8th most popular deck. Then by round 5, it was the 7th most popular deck. Now it's the 6th most popular deck. So Burning Abyss slowly creeping up, even though it's a toe-to-toe with Fire King Cosmo. And speaking of Fire King Cosmo, if we just bring up that original breakdown again for you guys, here you can see there is no Fire King Cosmo to be seen in the entire breakdown. So they are now among the top decks. Definitely one of the best choices you could have made at the beginning of the tournament, because very high chance, good conversion rate, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's a good conversion rate. That means the amount of players that started the tournament with that deck is also still in the tournament with that deck.
Right.
Whereas a lot of kind of the Burning Abyss players or whatever, they started out with a lot, but they still have a lot.
Yeah. So this is a little glimpse at the pairings of this round. We are now looking at table 72 in focus in the center of the screen. Moritz Wenninger against Raphael Jarzyna. We're a little bit behind the main event, and to make up for that time, we're going to now cut over to the feature match table where these guys are going to get their game on, and then we'll see who will advance to round 10 relatively unscathed. They are not on the bubble, so if they lose, they are still in competition. But of course,
they have to win out from there.
Yeah. So if they lose this match, they really have to win all their remaining matches. Well, just 2 more. But those tend to be the toughest matches.
Yeah, it gets pretty difficult when you're thinking to yourself, I just can't lose here.
Yes.
So Raphael here opening with the normal kind of tour guide, speedroids, double terratops, not exactly what you want, but you know. And here we see straight away Moritz with the ace card, Black Whirlwind.
Yeah.
He's got super rare Black Whirlwinds.
This is basically the key card.
Yeah.
Now, it's still limited, right?
No.
No
It's
longer.
completely unlimited.
Because a couple of players told me all the time, they said if Black Whirlwind is back on 3, this deck is going to be competitive again. Then this happened, and we didn't really see a lot of Blackwing. Do you think this is now the big comeback for the deck? It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, really. I mean, the thing with the Blackwing deck was when it was really good, when it was, when the 3 Black Whirlwinds were there and we had 3 Kalutes, and we had 3 Gale as well, Gale the Whirlwind, and having Gale being able to target your monster half its attack, and then make, just making synchro monsters back then was like, whoa, you managed to make a synchro monster, that's amazing.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. Whereas
back
now,
then it was 2 thumbs up, now it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, good job. You pendulum summoned like 2 tuners and you made like 3 synchro monsters. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's not as impressive.
Times have changed.
Yeah, but also Blackwings have changed. They've got a lot of different cards now. From the new sets. So he's playing all the original guys. So Kalute, Blizzard, Shura, and Bora the Spear as well. And then the additions, and Gale. And then obviously Zephyros was added a little later. But he has Chris, Pinaki, Arashi, and Bladius, I think his name is.
I mean, it's kind of expected to be a good matchup for Blackwing. Normally you bring one of these rogue decks if they have a good matchup against the popular decks.
Yep.
Would you agree to that? Do you think the Blackwings are going to do well against Phantom Knight Burning Abyss?
So let's have a look. I mean, his extra deck here is pretty amazing. He's main decking Rivalry of the Warlords and he's side decking Goza Match. So
okay, he
it's
brings
like,
the hate.
Yeah, if he manages to get both Goza Match and Rivalry, his opponent's just not going to be able to do anything.
Some people are just coming online and they're, wait a second, did I just turn on to the live stream of 2010 or something? But no, even nowadays. Whoa! Speaking of highlights.
Big Icarus attack.
Wow! That's definitely one of the best cards in the Blackwing deck, of course, the Icarus attack.
And the point is that it's free because he got to search with Black Whirlwind when he summons Zephyros. So that's the thing is with Black Whirlwind, it's a big investment because you got to summon 2 monsters successfully
to get
some value out of
it
to make it worth it. So at the moment, a platinum rare. That's a great. It's a platinum rare.
I'm like, it's just a reinforcement of the army. Why do you get excited about this card? But of course, it's a platinum rare.
It's a platinum rare from the Noble Knights box set.
All right.
I love the platinum rares. Everyone hates them. I love Mystical Space Typhoon in platinum rare. I think it looks awesome.
All right, we can actually take a little look at the history, the player match history of Moritz Wenninger with his Blackwing deck to get an idea of what he's doing well against and what he's not doing so well against.
So he just happens to have another Terratop, which was pretty unfortunate for Moritz. So he's still going to be able to make an XE play here. I guess that's kind of like the basic premise of Moritz's deck is just that these Blackwing cards have got some really great support. I mean, Icarus attack, really, really great. You can play Rivalry in the main deck, which is really good.
So Moritz is actually on a 6-2 record. He lost 2 games already.
Yep.
So
as I guess we were right in what we said then. It's kind of, he's got to, if he loses this one, he's got to win out. And then he's got a chance.
But considering that he lost the first and the third round, I think there's a very high chance that he's not going to be sneaking in there with tiebreakers only.
Probably not.
So very likely he needs that win a lot more than his opponent. If you have 2 losses, it's very unlikely that they're in the first and the third round. He did lose to Monarchs in the first round and Domain Monarchs in the third round. He beat Cosmo, Demise Cosmo, some other deck. We don't know what that was. Burning Abyss deck, so he's somewhat familiar with it. Domain Monarchs. And the last round yesterday, against Kevin Shiriak, he also beat him, and that was Phantom Knights Burning Abyss. So he's played this definitely before.
Oh, we have a new name for the Phantom Knights Burning Abyss deck for those out there who follow these different little jazzy names that we give out to the decks. It's now forever going to be known as Ghosts and Ghouls. You know, so the ghosts being the Phantom Knights.
You could try to make this stick.
And the ghouls being the Burning Abyss guys. Ghosts and Ghouls. I mean, our tournament organizer told me, I was thinking about this loads. I really, I really want it to stick. So
I think you're opening a can of worms right there.
Ghost and Ghouls. It's a really good name. It's got a nice little ring to it as well.
Doesn't that get us in copyright troubles?
I think so.
It sounds like a video game name.
Does it?
It certainly does.
Okay, well, not one that I know.
All right.
So
It's I haven't seen that little one in a little while.
yeah, so there's Gale. That's the
Gets
guy
Gale. That is
who kind of started getting restricted.
It's
which caused the
arguably one of the
problems.
best Blackwing guys, if
Yeah.
not the best, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he's able to drop the defense points of Grampulse there, just attack over it, get a bit of damage in, and then he's going to be able to synchro into a level 7 if he wants to.
Synchro summon, woo!
Synchro Shako.
Everything is cooler with Japanese subtitles.
Synchro Shako.
Subtitle is probably not the right word. Dubbing, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
I was at the World Championships in Rimini.
Did you just watch the stream in awe the whole time?
Well, I was stood on the stream.
Okay.
So, and it was great being able to hear the players actually say, "Oh, synchro shot." It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to focus, to be honest, if that happens.
Yeah.
I'm easily distracted.
So, here is one of the new Blackwing cards. So his opponent's got to give this a good read. Assault Blackwing, Chidori, the Rain Sprinkling. That's a strange name.
It's quite a mouthful.
Yeah. So it's level 7 monster.
Yeah, I like those cards.
If it's synchro summon using a Blackwing monster as material, so generally that's what you're going to try to do, then this monster's treated as a tuner. Gains 300 attack for each Blackwing monster in the graveyard. And when it gets destroyed, you can target a winged beast synchro monster in your graveyard, except itself, and special summon it. So, pretty good. He's got at least 2 Blackwings in the graveyard, so that's going to be going up to 31? 32. I just can't count. So that's pretty good. I guess this is, you know, what he will. This is what he wants his deck to be doing, and we see Strike there as well. I mean, he's actually in a really good spot.
Yeah, let's look at Raphael's hand here. He's only got an Effect Veiler and a Farfire. Like, those 2 cards on their own, not doing much.
Yeah, and Blizzard, with Blizzard being in hand, Blizzard was the big card back in the day. Obviously getting Effect Veiler here.
Yeah. He didn't have to read that one card. He was like, yep,
No.
I don't want this guy to do
Whatever
whatever
that
he's
is,
doing.
let's not have that.
Yeah. Yesterday we saw an Effect Veiler being ditched, and then after that the player started to read the card text. That was also quite interesting. I negate this. What does it do again? Well, it kind of worked, to be honest.
Yeah.
To give him credit where credit is due.
I don't like this card.
Ooh, and he found a second Solemn Strike. So he just had the backup. He was ahead. Opponent tries to get back into the game, Solemn Strike. Opponent could, in theory, get back into the game again, and then a second Solemn Strike. But it didn't even come to that. Raphael drew, didn't have a card that would help him. And that was it. 1-0 for Moritz Wenninger on the left side with his Blackwing deck.
Wow. That was
Good performance.
That was actually really good, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think I think, you know, a lot of people will say, oh well, the big cards there with the Solemn Strikes, but you know, being able to play through the Effect Veilers, didn't really care too much about those Effect Veilers happening. That was pretty good. He got Effect Veilered twice, which is quite funny.
Yeah, these guys seem to be quite focused considering the time, because we've had some people that were actually sleepwalking into the room.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure if they were qualified to play, to be honest, or illegal to play. I don't know what is the judge's ruling when somebody sleepwalks into the room.
I think that's all right.
That's all right?
Yeah, that's all right. I'm pretty sure. I think.
Oh, okay. So I see some notes that basically tell me, well, some players are always sleepwalking, even in round 7.
I think Taya in the anime actually sleepwalks at some point.
Oh yeah, so if they do it in the anime, it's definitely a legal move.
Oh yeah, totally fine.
All right, let's take a look at the side decks here. What do we have there?
So
we have Ertränkende Spiegelkraft. That's a drowning Mirror Force. Winter Cherries, Magic Deflector, Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Winter Cherry certainly isn't going to help him here because he's probably not going to share any extra deck cards with his opponent.
I'm talking, of course, about Raphael's deck, by the
Yeah.
way. So he was basically teching for the Mirror Match. And we got a Vanity's Emptiness, Majesty's Fiend. He's also got the Ghost Ogre and okay, he's got all of the Winter Ghost Ogre cards, like 3 and 2, and then 1 Maxi in his side deck.
Okay.
It's nothing really that he wants. Maxi is pretty good against Blackwing, I guess.
It's okay, yeah. It's okay. It depends on the combo. There's a few
you don't
combos.
get more than 2 out of
No, not really.
it, so
There's a couple of times, and like a lot of them are inherent, so you wouldn't be able to chain Maxi to those. Like Gale's inherent, Bora's inherent.
Right.
But still, you know, I think there's a few combos. We didn't see it in that last game, but there's a few combos with Blackwings where it is a lot of special summoning, a lot of synchros. So, yeah.
All right. What about Moritz? Is there anything that's definitely going to come in? You mentioned the Gozen match earlier. See system down. That's not a good card against this particular matchup.
Gozen match rivalry. If he drops Gozen match rivalry, then that's just
an Imperial Iron War.
Yeah, I think that's for Cosmos. That'll definitely be for Cosmos.
He's also playing Drowning Mirror Force, 1 Raigeki, and also 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Yeah, he's probably going to play Raigeki.
So off we go.
He can play Beastdweller.
Raphael kicking things off. 2 Malebranche, Kalkap, and Skarm.
There we see the Rivalry of the Warlords.
Oh yes, let's bring that up. This is the hand that Moritz drew into.
He
4 monsters, 1 Speller Trap, well, trap card in this particular case. Not exactly what you want.
No, well, if it had been going first, then I'd have been really happy with such a hand. Okay, that's a really good mill for Raphael. Milling Skarm and gloves, that's pretty good. So he's going to go and search boots. Does he have... No, he doesn't have any more summons. So he's just going to probably set Fogblade and leave it at that. Oh, he's got another boots. Okay. Yeah, he's got double boots. I thought that we'd already added the boots to his hand, but no, there's double boots. He's going to maybe able to make another Dante if he decides to go that way, or just... yeah, so he goes for another Dante. He's just going to keep on milling.
All right, on a scale from 1 to 10, I totally forgot to do this yesterday. How good is this opening?
I'd go with about a 7.
Around 7.
Which is pretty good. 7's pretty good.
Okay.
Like 10 is you opening triple Apex Avian and double Kieran.
All right.
With the Imperial Order set. Like, that's 10.
With an Imperial Order set?
Yeah. Just in case.
It's pretty hard to accomplish, to be honest.
Just in case, exactly. So that's pretty good. This is like a 7, which is pretty good.
Okay.
He's got 3 effect negations.
That's definitely a good opening. Not the best opening.
Yeah.
Nothing to flinch at.
Yeah.
Searching for the tour guide there.
He's only setting 1 of the fog blades. That's interesting. Maybe.
Why would you only set 1?
My only thought is that he's scared of Delta Coranti reverse. Which I don't think he's either playing. He's not playing it, no. I don't know. Oh, well, okay, no, that's silly. He's probably Twin Twisters. He's probably scared of as well.
Right. So there's Black Whirlwind.
Again, gaining some card advantage from that.
This time with Bora.
Yeah, so he gets to go and search for Zephyros this time, I think. He's probably going to go for...
Bora was the one that trampled, I think.
Yes, yeah, it has piercing.
But not that useful against Dante with his 2,500 def.
No, well, he does have 2 Kalutes in his hand, so that's pretty good.
If he absolutely needs to, yeah. But you wouldn't probably just like that throw it into there, right?
No, I don't think so. It's more of a reactive one. I do wonder what he's going to go and search for here.
It's also pretty hard to tell what he's going to do,
He's
right?
got Gale.
It's his moves are very hard to predict for you, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've not played Blackwings for a very long time. I think I played the last time I played Blackwings was when Allure of Darkness was at 3, just to give you an idea.
And back then, whenever you did a synchro summon, somebody was slow clapping.
Yeah, or fast clapping.
Oh, or even fast clapping, yeah.
Yeah.
It's no longer the time.
Yeah. So he could go for a second Bora here. I don't. Is he? He seems to be doing some kind of magician's wave over that Bora just now. Yeah, I don't. He was checking to see if there was any strings on the field or something. I don't know.
No strings on me.
No strings on me. Exactly. So you can go into a level 7 monster here.
This is something that can really get him out of... It's not a sticky situation, I guess, but that can really give him the upper hand here.
Let's have a look. What's he got? What's he got for choices? So we can get the Assault Blackwing again. That's not much use. Some Raid Raptors. Oh, Trishula. Oh, let's hope we see Trishula. I love Trishula.
Yeah, we know you get excited about Trishula usually.
Yeah, I do like Trishula.
All right, so Gale used its effect. Oh no, wait a second.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, and then will have pierce damage over.
The Gale is shrinking the attack, right?
And defense.
And defense.
Yeah.
See, this card is even better than I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because nobody used to like put cards at defense position in the first place.
Yeah,
There's
but back
attack.
Yeah, back when this was out. That negate that.
Bora.
Yeah, I mean, Gale was so good. Any monster, will, it's easy to work out. Any monster with any 600 attack or less, was getting destroyed by Gale. Like people were playing Gale in decks that weren't even Blackwings, and that was strange back then to have kind of random tech cards from out of your archetype. Generally, people played quite archetypal
It became
decks.
quite accepted.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah. It was kind of strange to begin with. Probably going to go into a level 7 here. Let's see which one of these Blackwing synchros he decides to go with. I mean, this, again, I always say this when, it doesn't seem like he's in the best position.
Right.
But he's one game up. It doesn't matter how much of a best position you're in this
we had some
game.
of these situations, most notably the Denko Seka into 5 face downs, where you're like, why is he not doing this? He's one game up. Like, if it goes through, that's basically game. If it doesn't, the opponent will have lost the card as well. That's also fine. Not great, but fine.
Yeah.
So why not just go for it?
Yeah, just take some risks.
Yeah, but I guess you want to really play it safe.
Yeah.
At least at this point.
So this is pretty key now. We've got Rivalry set. Now, all depending on when this gets played, could be huge.
Excuse me. Normally you want to wait until your opponent plays another monster, so he loses at least one monster to Rivalry, right?
He's going to be able to wait for more than one here. He's going to probably wait until he's got at least 2, or maybe even play for the wait till the exceed's already happened and then play it.
But when the exceed happened, is he not going to go for a second Dante?
Well, this is the thing. He's got 2 Dante. Let's see how many Dantes he plays. Okay, he's playing the full 3. People were playing 2 to begin with in this deck.
Right.
So yeah, it is possible that he'll just go for the Dante, or he might go for Phantom Knight's. It's in German. I forgot its name. What's this called?
That's Phantom Knights of
Breaksword. Breaksword. That's it. Yeah. Why did I suddenly forget it? Yeah. So he could go into Breaksword, which is not the same type as Dante.
Well, if that happens, then a Rivalry would be gigantic.
Yeah.
But why take the risk? Why not activate it before the synchros, the exceed summon? Now the Blackwings are confusing me with the synchro summons.
Yeah, I keep want to say rank, but it's not ranks. The synchro monsters.
They do have levels.
So I think they're just talking through some kind of ruling or something here. It also looks like they're talking about turns of time, kind of going backwards and forwards. He's kind of pointing at him, pointing back at himself. But it's not time yet.
So the first game, we could tell at some point, okay, this was definitely favoring Moritz. In the
Yeah.
second game, it's a bit too early to tell.
Bit even, yeah.
It's
Very
really on the
bit
edge
even.
here.
Okay, so this is the big thing with Phantom Knight's Burning Abyss, is that it's just all the different types. There we go. Oh, well, okay, he's just played Rivalry straight away. That seems kind of strange. I guess he just didn't want to take the risk at all.
That's interesting. Do you agree with that play?
No, I think he should have waited. Definitely should have waited.
I guess in a way, it's a good play because you're really getting your opponent in a situation where he has been thinking about his move for a little while. Then you play Rivalry, and he has to think some more, and then he might get a slow play warning. I'm not sure if that's a valid strategy, but... Right, there are the mills. Among them, Effect Veiler. Oh, and there was a... was it Farfar mill?
Must have been Fafa, yeah.
Yeah. So the path has been cleared. Well, and at least he made sure that he's only going to take the damage from Dante, but I guess he would have accomplished that the same way if he just waited. Very often I'm inclined to say that the player knows best, because he's come this far, so there was something going on in his mind.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask him about that later in case we have him in the interview.
Yeah. Still, Raphael is very restricted right now because he's got Dante on the field as a warrior. He didn't really end up going very far there apart from just getting that summoning. Ooh. That's pretty big.
Sorry, I was just blinking. What happened?
Shura is Shura was it was seen as the strongest
Yes,
Blackwing
actually,
monster.
I do remember that, yes.
So Shura,
When it attacks over something, you get to search your deck for another one.
yeah, well, you get to summon it directly from the
not just
from
search
the
it.
deck. So
Search
he's
summon.
going to be able to go and get that other Gale, most likely. Special summon the Gale from his hand. Probably drop the other Borer.
And of course, together with
Yeah.
Black Whirlwind, all of
Yeah,
that
I
gets
think
so
he's
much
gonna-
better.
Yeah, he's going to Fogblade this, though. That's totally correct, because he would have lost if he hadn't have Fogbladed
Right.
that.
Yeah, if the card says you don't lose the game, it is correct to play the
It
card.
is definitely correct.
We
to
can
play.
agree on that, yes.
Because Moritz would have just been able to drop his whole hand onto the board. Oh, I guess he can... Okay, he's going to synchro with that Gale. Okay, another Blackwing synchro monster that I do not recognize. Let's see what that is. Actually, I do vaguely recognize it. I think he's got like a crossbow. Crossbow-looking Blackwing monster. Rakiri the Rain Shower.
And our judge just confirms for us, he blind flipped Rivalry at the start of turn. It wasn't like there was any reason, really. At least it didn't appear to us like there was any reason.
So if it's again, Rakiri has the same effect that if it's synchro summon using a Blackwing monster, it turns into a tuner monster.
Second Phantom Knight Fogblade.
And yeah, so it says once per turn you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blackwing monsters you control and destroy them. So
And
that's
that-
pretty good.
There's a collude, and down goes Dante.
Yep, so he's still going to be able to get that in and get some direct attacks in. Some pretty decent direct attacks as well.
Wow, that must feel really bad. Like, you got two answers to the bigger opponent's monsters with the Fogblades, feeling pretty safe,
Yeah.
and then still the opponent has a way to just simply attack over your Dante, which is supposed to be a defensive
Oh, wow.
powerhouse.
I forgot about that. It gains attack equal to the number of Blackwing monsters in your graveyard. He's got like 5 or 6.
That's a big swing.
Prod.
So what we're looking at,
I think Raphael must have forgot about that as well. He's
he's just down to 3,450
Yeah.
life points.
wow.
That
That's
was
a big
swing.
hit.
That was a very big swing. Let's see if Raphael come back from this. He's got a tour guide. That's of course always good to open, but together with a rivalry on the field, tour guide is suddenly, well, tour guide is fine, but after that you can't really do anything, can you?
No, you can't. You can't tour guide into a Dante.
Yeah.
That's the key part. He's just looking through his options here. I don't know. I think that's
He doesn't really have any really good options.
Pinaki. This is the one that's on field at the moment. I have no idea what it does.
The waxing moon. Just gonna look that one up. Sometimes people keep forgetting about the older archetypes. They're like, well, it hasn't been played for a long time, so it's most likely not gonna got like a lot better.
Oh, so it came out in premium gold actually. This is the thing. A lot of the new Blackwing cards came out in like premium gold and stuff.
Hmm.
And no one really paid much attention to the new cards in there.
So, sorry, why is the search happening? I kind of missed that.
So yeah, so it's Pinaki who's allowing the search. When it's used for a synchro summon during the end phase, if it's in the graveyard, you get to add a Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand with no restrictions.
Except itself, but that's not much of a restriction.
No.
Okay, so perfect setup for Moritz Wenninger, he definitely controls the board. He does have a rivalry to make sure that his opponent has a very hard time coming back into the match.
Yeah.
He still has another Collude in hand, so if he ever gets to attack again and increase the Crack of Dawn, 1,900 attack, not that shabby.
No, I think he just
that
needs
could
one
already
attack.
be game ending.
Yeah,
1/9 plus Collude. Well, considering that Raphael is down to 2,250, this game could be over if you just blink. You might have missed it.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's so many Phantom Knights players here, but there's other decks that have kind of tailored themselves to not let.
Extremely threatening field, extremely threatening hand, in fact, from Moritz Wenninger. Raphael Jarzyna needs to make a move, and he needs to do so now. He does have Twin Twisters, though. Drew into it. That's a good draw. So he can get rid of the Rivalry of the Warlords.
Yeah, definitely. Still, he's used 2 Dantes.
Right. Still has a third one, as we pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
So
still, is it too late?
Basically, we're going Twin Twister and then Tour Guide.
Yeah, so Twin Twister, discard the Tigton Borg. I think Moritz is just kind of laughing it up here. He's thinking, well, awesome. Finally, they got destroyed, but I've got 3 powerful synchro monsters on my side of the field.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of these monsters is getting pumped up by the graveyard.
So there's the Tour Guide.
Yep.
Why was the abbreviation for Tour Guide TGU?
Tour Guide, because I don't want to start sounding like an English major, but I think everyone skips the connecting words in names. So to and from. So it was Tour Guide.
Yeah, okay.
From
I get that, but
underworld.
What is the U doing at the very end?
Tour Guide from the underworld.
Yeah, but okay. Because I'm sorry. I'm so used to the card just being called Tour Guide, 2 words, and that's it. Right. So even the Germans who are famous for abbreviating everything, because German names tend to be
very efficient,
30% longer. Yeah, not very efficient. So pretty much the exact opposite. We just call it Tour Guide every time, and it was just TG, I think, for the most part.
Really? Yeah, it was always TGU. It's Tour Guide
Although
from the underworld.
it was interestingly enough, more and more people started adapting the English abbreviations, even when the German abbreviations were shorter. Enemy controller in German was always EC, 2 letters. That's it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the Englishmen, it was Econ.
Econ, yeah. Econ, or we just called it controller.
Okay.
In my regional area.
All right.
We're talking a long time ago, back in like ancient sanctuary.
No, obviously. All right. So let's see how Raphael can fight back, or can he? He does have an opening. Got a Levier. Now we see the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. And now then the Silent Boots. And of course that following that is the Exceed Summon. All right, 1 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, I think he's got a. He's going to be able to block quite a few things here, but he's going to. So he gets to do a rank 4 Exceed play here, but it has to be a Dark Monster, probably Rebellion. Oh, wow. Is that a dual terminal Exceed Rebellion Dragon?
Dark Rebellion, yeah. Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon.
Wow. Oh, he has to take the attack of the big one. He takes the attack gain from the the one that's getting filled up from the graveyard. Wow. I mean, to be honest, either way. Oh no, because the fog blade's still there. That's pretty strong.
That's a pretty good comeback, I would say.
Yeah.
Getting rid of 2 of the 3 synchro monsters.
Yeah.
Time has just been
And
called in the main event.
Rebellion Dragon's going to get to keep that as well.
We are, however, in the 32nd minute. 8 more minutes to go until we are calling time on our match. Oh, also, somebody pointed out, sorry, I'm just seeing this now, the early rivalry that we thought was a little bit premature, might have been a move to stop Beatrice from coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
Which is probably not the worst choice.
No, that's definitely possible. Wow, what set was Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon printed in that it had Shatterfoil? I can't even remember.
The Rebellion is 5,000 attack, by the way.
5,000. Wow.
That's quite a bit.
All it takes is Kalute, though.
I thought at first that the die with the 5 on it was telling us something like it's got 500 attack more than it should have. Not that it's up
5,000.
5,000, yeah.
Wow. Okay, oh yeah, Rebellion was in Star Pack Arc 5. I didn't know that. It looks pretty cool, though. I like dual terminal res. As I said multiple times.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. I think you mentioned this once or twice.
That's why Trishula. I've got my favorite card ever, Trishula. Okay, so he's going to play some more obscure Blackwing cards that I don't know what they are.
Why'd you call them obscure? It's Crease the Crack of Dawn.
Of course. You can only special summon 1 crease. Can't be destroyed by spell and trap effects. And it's on 1/9. He's on 1/9. He's attacking. Levia has less than 1/9. I don't get what's going on. Oh, he's saying Graph's effect.
How can he get over the Rebellion Dragon or Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon?
He's got to remove it somehow with a Blackwing monster.
Yeah, but do you see any chance for him so far? I mean, he's got a Kalute in hand. That's not going to do much against so much attack.
No.
Maxi is not really helping either.
So he needs a monster that's like 3,600.
That's tough. All right, so now there's a bit of confusion happening, I think.
Yeah, I'm just asking how...
It seems straightforward enough. It's like, I'm attacking this card.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he thinks, oh, I don't want to attack that now because it has Graph underneath it or something.
The weird thing is that our judge has a way out of this feature match area where he can walk out of the area without us seeing him. Right, there we see Thomas. He's now, I think, consulting.
Yeah, he's consulting with a second feature match. So we actually have 2 feature match judges
Oh,
this
see, I
weekend.
didn't even know that. Honestly, I've only seen Thomas all weekend.
Yeah, so we have 2 feature match judges. Okay, so it sounds like we're going to have an appeal.
Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a little break there until the match continues. So
This is pretty cool.
it is
Blackwings are
a
doing
bit
pretty
of a
well.
Mexican standoff, and the question is who's going to flinch first.
Yeah.
Both of these guys are not 100% sure how... well, I'm pretty certain that Moritz is pretty...
Yeah, I mean, neither of them are playing
I think we
Cowboy.
now have an agreement,
So
because Levier is on the 3rd attempt leaving the field. It doesn't seem to be an appeal, so we're not going to go to the head judge,
okay.
and that's why we're going to go straight back to the feature match table. All right. So attack concluded.
Graph is used on Scam.
Good for Moritz, but is it good enough? Because there's still the Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon with its 5,000 attack. Talk about threatening.
Yeah. So he's got to get at least a monster with 3,600 attack points before it goes anywhere.
Yeah.
With Kalut.
Do you just drop Max C at the opponent's draw phase when you know that the next turn I'm going to have is my last turn?
Yeah, I think you would. There's no reason not to.
Or isn't it kind of like telegraphing for your opponent, okay, there's nothing else coming here? Because you only got one more card in hand.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to choose, really. We'll see. He's got... I mean, Raphael is clearly in the
Raphael is in a
best
good
position.
position.
He's
Yeah.
just got a 5,000 attack monster.
All right, so the disagreement of the two players was whether the game had advanced to the battle step or battle phase, and
Okay.
yeah, he wanted... Okay, the player probably wanted to activate Maxi, and he tried to get back into the last step so he could still drop Maxi.
Yeah.
That's okay. Claiming that the opponent was a bit too fast to advance to the next phase. I guess that's fair enough. Okay, there's Maxi,
yeah, he just
got dropped.
Draw, I see.
There's a Dante. That's one card for Moritz. It's a Rivalry of the Warlords. It's not really a way to get rid of the Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon, but at least it could get rid of everything else.
He could play Rivalry and hope his opponent chooses to get rid of the Rebellion Dragon instead of Dante.
It's almost as good as hoping that your opponent falls asleep while he's playing. It's one of those narrow and unlikely win conditions. It's not like it's never happened. It's just extremely unlikely that it is going to happen.
Yeah. That Rebellion Dragon is so shiny. However, I think...
Do you just continue to special summon monsters here?
It seems like he's taking the challenge here. Both players are on a short amount of life points.
With your opponent just 2 cards in hand, is it not an okay line of play to just attack with Dark Rebellion? I mean, okay, he doesn't have that much life points, 2,250.
Yeah, he could just slow roll this.
Well, he doesn't agree with us, of course.
Well, no, I think he wins. He can just win now.
Yeah, I mean, Moritz basically needs something like a second Kalut, right?
Yeah, I think even with the Kalut, he's not going to be able to do much.
Okay.
Yeah, he can't get over Dark Rebellion.
No, he can't get over it unless he draws like... He does have an Icarus attack now, so he can get rid of it now.
Yeah.
If he sees another turn. The question is, does he see another turn?
No, that's game. He's going to go into F0. Hold on. No. Oh, okay. I got excited for no reason then.
Hold your horses.
I was thinking, oh, F0 still takes damage, right? But he doesn't. F0 takes no battle damage. Because if he did, he would have dropped Kalut and have won. That's why that was exciting for a second.
Yeah, you sold that really well, Luke.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. So he's going to play F0. He's going to steal that Blackwing monster because he's thinking, I've seen so many of these Blackwing monsters. I want a bit of this action. And take that for himself, and then just attack for 5,000.
That is it.
That's a 1.
That is it. 1-1 between Moritz, Wenninger and Raphael Jarzyna. Blackwings versus Phantom Knights Burning Abyss, the most popular deck choice of the guys at the start of the day. We are now in time, according to my clock, I'm 100% sure if the judge started his time clock at the exact same time, but
I think the players both just said, "Oh,
darn.
is there any no, but I think they said, "Is there any time left?" And maybe the judges said, "Oh, you got 1 minute." So
Yeah, yeah.
just gonna confer with the judges how much time is left.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain they are in time.
If they were in time, then the game would have ended.
Oh, right. That's a good point. Okay, so probably they weren't in time. I mean, my clock's at 40 something, but
There's 3
basically
minutes
I
left.
started stopping when we said, okay, you guys can start. So they probably took another minute or so until they really went for it.
I think there's 3 minutes left according to our judge.
Oh, okay. That's quite generous.
Oh,
maybe
I think
maybe
it
there
was
was
because
all right, there was this
big
situation that
confirmation,
we
yeah.
had, and the judge of course gives extra time. I really shouldn't forget about that because I'm always preaching. If you're a judge, don't forget to give the guys extra time. If they
No, I think that was perfect actually from our feature match judge to give some extra time there.
yeah, no,
Seriously,
correctly the right move.
that was really
100% the right move. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you think, oh, do I really want to just give them extra time? But I think that was definitely one of those times where it was worth it.
No, it's not like how do you feel about it? It's not like, oh, do I feel like giving them extra time or not? It's like, if you take some time to answer the judge call, you have to give them extra time. That's the entire ruling, the way it works. Even when you personally don't agree with why the player has called for a judge, but that's not up for...
Oh, no, it's just if the judge call took enough time.
Oh, yeah, I think it definitely did.
So it's it's a certain number of time. It's gotta be, I think it has to be over 3 minutes before they get an extension.
Well, I've given extensions for over 2 minutes, to be honest.
Oh, you're just really kind.
Yeah, I am. At least I used to be. It's been a while since I judged. So maybe I'm not anymore. I can't even tell.
Raphael's starting foolish here. It's pretty good. So they're probably going to end up in time.
All right, so here we have the opening hands. Moritz got some action.
Put
Maxi, Kalut,
pure Bozzy here.
Gale.
He got the Blackwing deck, and he's not as experienced as
There
Ryan
it
with
is,
this
the
app.
most traditional of all openings.
The T set.
Yeah, card set to each zone. And Raphael he could shift gears early on and step on the pedal.
Yeah, I mean, he's open to Tour Guide.
Ghost Ogre and Snow Robert. Is it also good against the stack?
I guess so. Yeah, it's good against Gale.
Okay.
Pretty good against Gale. I guess you can just get Gale off the field so they can't synchro summon. I wouldn't say it's the best. Raphael really taking his time here to decide what he wants to go with. That's Cloak. I'm just going to put this Max C here. Is that alright? So, one card already. Wow. See, so now this is a big choice for Moritz. Does he decide to go with Icarus attack and wipe out his opponent's board?
There we go. Now we are in time.
Yep. Or does he decide to let his opponent continue special summoning?
And the thing is, every single life point matters at this point in the game.
Yep.
So you really, on the one hand, you don't want to pass play and stand wide open.
Yeah.
And on the other hand,
pretty wide open here.
Yeah.
If he just leaves it like this.
He doesn't have anything to set in his back row. I mean, he can set a foolish burial, but that's not going to stop anything.
I mean, I think he has to. He has to overlay here. He wouldn't have summoned Boots otherwise.
Yeah. So he needs to commit to the field.
Yeah.
Some more. Yes.
I don't understand. He already made this decision when he special summoned Boots.
Yeah.
He already made that choice. Oh, there's Gramples. Now that could be pretty interesting.
This doesn't look like the best of starts for Raphael.
Oh, there's more to come. Oh, did he normal summon Cloak? I think he did. Yeah, he did normal summon Cloak. So yeah, I guess there's not much more to be done. He's only got one Burning Abyss monster. He has to go for Dante here. Okay.
He
So,
doesn't seem to.
apologies. He's got Foolish
I
Burial.
was about to say he doesn't seem to agree.
Yeah, he's got Foolish Burial, so he can Grand Pulse the back row and then Foolish Burial, summon Scam. So he decides against it there. I think he's just going to defense up here. He's going to build a wall and defense it
Yeah.
with his trap cards.
Burning Abyss is pretty good in timeout. Generally speaking,
Well,
at least.
yeah, they have Baba.
Yeah. among other cards, but
They just
just
put Baba in the graveyard.
the defensive capabilities of this deck are just so good.
Yeah.
He
I guess
doesn't.
all it takes is one Borrow the Spear, though, to get through.
Right. So Blackwings are one of the few decks that are somewhat equipped to still deal damage.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's take another look. We got Khalud, we got Gale, Kreese, and Pinaki. And now a Drowning Mirror Force. Mirror Force is actually not bad here.
No, this is actually
Not at
pretty
all.
good. As long as he manages to deal with Grand Pulse, because Grand Pulse is going to have another back row destruction next turn. So maybe not even set it this turn. I'm thinking, in my mind, maybe he needs to produce a board without Drowning Mirror Force. Actually, no, because that's going to stop him. He needs to gain some life. But I think Moritz here has to do some damage. He has to do some damage this turn. He's not going to have time left. He needs to do some damage now. I mean,
He seems to agree with that assessment.
yeah. So he's normal summon something with quite small attack.
Second
points.
Pinaki.
Double Pinaki now.
Yep. One
Okay.
face down, one face up.
Yeah.
And where do you go from here?
So I think he's just putting a face up Blackwing on the field so that he can continue to summon the likes of Gale. He could flip up the other Pinaki and overlay into Triad's Levia. No idea if he's playing it, but he could. No, he's not. What a shame.
There it is. Yep. Well, we kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah, I think Grand Pulse has got 2,800 defense points though, so that's yes, it's not enough.
Well, not yet.
No, not yet. So he's halving Grand Pulse with Gale. Let's see where else can he go here.
He does have a Khalud.
So he can get over Grand Pulse.
Yeah.
But then
And do some damage with Gale afterwards.
oh yeah, Raphael will probably play Fogblade to stop it from attacking. Yeah, it's quite a tense situation, really. There's a lot of different ways you can approach this.
Yeah.
You can
And
approach it with
It's also because we're in timeout, they have to play differently. It's one of
Yeah.
those situations where you...
yeah, and there was a bit of a tense situation earlier with the whole trying to go back to play Maxi in the battle step. You know, that kind of probably caused a bit of contention between the players, so they're probably both quite tense. Just my assessment. He's really thinking it through here.
Well, basically he's going all in.
Yeah, he seems to be at least putting a decent amount on the field.
It's... Well, I mean, if the attacks, we can definitely talk about plural here.
Yeah, so I think he's got enough monsters now to be able to attack
if
through.
the attacks deal some damage, and then he's got a Drowning Mirror Force, he's basically putting everything on the table, setting that card face down, and then he starts praying.
Yeah, I think he needs to
Pray to
put
the
some
gods of the heart of the cards, and yeah, if he gets lucky, your opponent will not have anything to attack
yeah.
after that Drowning Mirror Force.
I mean, at the very least, he can Foolish Burial Alec to try. Is it? No, not Alec. Calcab, I think it is that
Now we see a synchro summon.
bounces.
Now we see a
Yeah.
synchro summon. Not that surprising.
No. Yeah, Raphael does have an option to get rid of the back row. He can just Foolish Burial the Burning Abyss monster, which bounces the back rows. I can't remember which one it is. I'm sure chat will soon tell me. I think it's Calcab.
Rob is nodding
Rob's
in agreement. All right, so that is.
Oh wow, that's pretty big. He's forcing out that fog blade. However, now this is an issue because Grand Pulse is too big. I feel like that was a little greedy when he had enough to attack over it. I don't understand unless he has a rank 3 monster, which I don't remember seeing. 'Cause they're both tuners, so I'm a little confused. Okay, that must just have more attack points than I'm giving it credit for.
What do you mean?
Pinaki.
I know he used Collude.
Yes, but Grand Pulse still has 2,800 defense points.
But Gale.
Halves it to 1,400.
Yeah.
Gale's on 1,300.
No, but he attacked with Pinaki and used Collude.
Ah, he used Kalut.
Yes.
Okay. Then that solves that. I was kind of expecting him to keep a hold of Kalut.
No. That was the like I said. He just goes all in, throws everything on the table, drops Collude, sets Drowning Mirror Force, and now it's time to pray.
Yeah.
That's his strategy. Not the most complicated strategy, but somewhat promising, I guess.
Yeah. So I think he must have forgotten to use the Pinaki effect earlier, but it must be mandatory. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got it now. He must be mandatory. He's probably gonna just go get another Kalut. I'd go get another Kalut. I'd be down for that. Gets Blizzard. Clearly has bigger plans in place.
Yeah, he is aiming for an eagle.
Yeah.
And he will not mind if he only hits a pigeon with his little stone that he's about to throw.
I mean, this is just another example of someone turning up with a deck that they want to play and they like to play, just like we saw with Cyber Dragons in the last round yesterday.
In a way, yes. But at the same time, it might not be the case. Maybe he really thinks this is well positioned against the popular decks. Nobody has this on the radar.
Oh no,
You should never underestimate the element of surprise.
Not questioning that at all. It's just one of those times where you think this deck's not going to do anything, but then it actually just comes out and gets down to business. So he drew Twin Twisters. So that's gonna
spoil the party.
Yep. Oh, Platinum Rare Foolish Burial as well. Awesome. This guy obviously bought a few Noble Knights of the Round Table box sets.
Hashtag pray for Blackwings. Oh my. Yeah, it's a very strategic game because I think they are playing very differently because of the fact that they are in extra time.
Yeah.
So if somebody's not aware of that and they're just looking at this part of the video, they're like, I don't know. I don't agree with half of these plays. Well, yes, but
they're playing.
It's all about doing the most damage in the least amount of time, basically.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's kind of strange because you feel like just looking at the board, Moritz is well ahead. He's got some guys on the field, and Raphael doesn't really have anything at all.
But if you really think that is enough, you haven't been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Lately.
Exactly. So this is the big swing.
I mean, we have seen players with 2 big Exceed monsters, both 2,500 attacks or more, about to attack. The opponent just drops a Flying Sea, and they immediately scoop. Like, well, I got 5,000 attack on the field, but that's not going to be enough. I'm going to scoop here. And you're like, what?
So that's the first ante of the game. Oh, it's always the last card.
Yeah, I was about to say, those mills are not very good, but I stand corrected.
But still, he gets Graph's effect here. He's gonna be able to put some decent amount of damage on the board. That Farfar is going to be for the Exceed monster, for the Synchro monster, I think.
If he hadn't hit that Scarm, that would have been a lot worse, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like how much worse is basically my question.
It's not kind of
Terry bad.
Yeah, Terry bad, but it's at least worse than it would have been. So here's Farfar. Farfar should be destroyed. Yeah, okay. Farfar's effect. He's banishing the level 3. Here's the boots for the turn. So I think he's just approaching this as I need to do enough damage. So that's going to be Break Sword.
Yeah.
Break Sword's probably going to deal with the Synchro Monster. Oh, up into Beatrice.
Ah, that Twin Twister. Just
Yeah.
imagine he hadn't had that Twin Twister.
Yeah.
How good would Drowning Mirror Force be right now?
Pretty good. There seems to be some kind of question here.
Just double checking with the judge. Sometimes you get confused during your own turn. There's just too much happening.
Okay. Okay, so he revives those, gets Rebellion Dragon. Okay, so this is pretty big hit here.
Yeah, this is pretty over.
Well, I wouldn't say so. There's a Blizzard in his hand.
You think the Blizzard is going to be enough
There's
just for the
a
comeback?
storm coming. And
The weather report for Berlin didn't say anything about storms. It said occasional rain showers
well, Moritz here.
and clouds.
Moritz here.
You're talking about
Absolutely.
blizzards.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if the
Storm
prediction is going
blizzards.
to come true. In hindsight, do you agree with searching for Blizzard? Obviously, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah, I
now that
think
you've
so.
seen all of this.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
probably the better move. Yeah.
And there's a fog blade, right?
But I wasn't expecting Twin Twisters.
Yeah, Twin Twisters is really the card that spoiled the party.
Yeah, that would have been a
This
big
would have been a lot
drowning
more fun
Murphos.
for the Blackwing fan curve.
Yeah, that would have been a big drowning Murphos. So
They
wow,
call themselves the Birdies.
yeah, all the way down to 3,000 life points. So let's see what Moritz actually draws here. This could be game changing. It's a spell card. Oh, is that Allure of Darkness?
It was very, very black.
That would be awful if that was Allure of Darkness, because now he has to pick whether he wants to allure the Blizzard. Oh, it is.
It is, yeah.
He's got to pick whether he wants to allure with the Blizzard or not to try and find something else.
He does.
He does.
That was a trap card. That
I mean,
was a monster.
Yeah, the chance. So 3, 4, 5. He's going to get one more turn of attacks. Now here comes the big choice. He did draw.
Into a Gozen match.
Very good, because Beatrice is light, I think. And the Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon is dark. It's in the name.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
So he's got a... he did find another card. He got a Crease, the Crack of Dawn. That was the monster that he drew with the Allure of Darkness. Probably gonna banish that. Hang on to Blizzard. Thinking.
He gets rid of Blizzard.
Oh, interesting. So he sticks with Crease, the Crack of Dawn.
Yeah, so he can special summon that. And then he has a level 7. He has level 7. What's the level of Pinaki?
It was level 3.
Yeah, so it's 7.
Yeah, 3 plus 4 is indeed 7.
I don't think he has enough Blackwings in his graveyard to make a big synchro play that direction. But he does have. Yeah, again, it's going to get fog bladed.
I was about to say there's still a fog blade face down, so I think this party is over.
Yeah.
I mean, even
So this is the one that gains attack points for each.
yeah, but he's 3.7k behind in LPs.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to, well, not just gain the upper hand, he also needs to gain some damage at the same time. With just one monster, when there's a fog blade face down, that's pretty much unheard of. I don't think that's going to happen. And then the Gozen match is also not going to really get him ahead. It helps to press the advantage, but when you're in a situation like this one, it's a lot less useful.
Yeah.
So the dreams of all the Blackwing players have been crashed. Although the first game was pretty convincing victory. Or are we missing something? He's checking the graveyard.
That's
There's
fog
an
blade.
attack, there's Fogblade. No surprise there. Sets the goals in match, and yeah, it's almost time to extend the hand. Unless I'm missing something.
No, I think that certainly is the correct time. I think end phase is going to send the card which bounces the back row, and then that's just going to be it. He's just going to attack. That's it.
Well,
actually, yeah, he probably fog-bladed. He probably fog-bladed someone else.
so
He can't have fog-bladed the Blackwing monster, because otherwise it won't be able to. He wouldn't be able to attack over it afterwards, because you can't attack the target of Fogblade unless he then farfars it something.
we have a lot, like a lot of players that have a record of 6-2. I'm just looking through the standings prior to this round. 157 players are 6-2 or better.
Wow.
So yeah, 6-2 is already not the. Moritz Wenninger is actually 147th. Talk about bad tiebreakers. So he really needed that win. I think with that loss, he's out of competition. Like he's not going to make up such a gigantic difference to the top 64. Raphael Jarzyna, on the other hand, let's try and find him in our little list here. He is doing a lot better. Or I missed him. Oh no, he is doing a lot better. He's 79th.
So if he wins this, it's going to send him.
Catapults himself into the top 64. Then he just has to stay there. And I think another win. And then even if he loses the last round, he should actually be able to secure his spot in the top 64. So
yeah.
Of course, this would be a big win for him. It would be a big win for Moritz Wenninger as well. But Moritz Wenninger really needs 3 victories in a row, I think, because of his bad tiebreakers. Whereas Raphael Jarzyna could make do, in theory, with a 2-1. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This match is still going on for some reason.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm getting a little kind of...
Yeah, sometimes people are asking, why is the overtime always this long? This is one of the reasons, because sometimes it seems like the match is over, but the players keep playing. And I mean, that's pretty much exactly what's happening here. So we see a second Beatrice.
Okay.
Path has been cleared.
So you have nothing on the field at all.
And it's going to go and attack. Then there's going to be a Gozen match. He's got the choice to either not win the game or win the game. No, actually, he always wins the game. Doesn't matter if it's the Dark Rebellion or if it's Beatrice. Doesn't matter. It's always enough attack. So why do you...
Nothing changed in that past turn.
Yes.
In the past 3 turns.
You do not get any extra credit in the internet if you just hang in there for 5 more minutes, making everybody watch you lose the game. I don't want to sound too negative, but seriously, the whole tournament gets delayed because of something like that. If 100 players are doing this, and I'm not kidding, 100 players are doing this.
Yeah.
We've seen this. So yeah, I wouldn't say if you go down with style, because that was not going down with style. Going down with style would be extending the hand and saying this game is over. I had my little moment of glory with that first game where my Blackwing deck did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm going home or to bed if you're staying in this hotel.
Yeah, it wasn't
That's
like he
a
made
strategy.
It wasn't like he made any kind of cool play.
Yeah,
to end
there's nothing following that. Yeah. All right. Raphael Jarzyna, like we said, 79th place prior to this round. Now moving up the ladder. Because it's day 2. You might think, oh, wait a second, we've only been 15 minutes in overtime. We got another 25 minutes to go until the next round starts. In theory, that is possible, but very often on day 2, the overtime, the gap in between rounds is getting a lot shorter.
Yeah, less players.
So we're going to try and do an interview. I'm just going to quickly check with the scorekeeper when we are on the break, if everything is fine, if we still have enough outstanding results. So we are not the cause for delaying the tournament, and only Moritz is. With that, we're taking a short break. We're going to be right back.